Are you wanting to know how to use a feather razor, but you're not sure where to start? Today we're going to show you how. Hi there! Thanks again for joining us. My name's Denise, and I'm here to help you, the brand new hairstylist, start your career. One of the things that I get a lot of questions on is a feather razor. How to use it, how to change the blade, what's the big deal? Today we're going to show you how to thin out hair with a feather razor. You can actually do a full haircut with a feather razor, and it's beautiful, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about how to use this instead of your thinning shears to thin out the bulk of a haircut. But before we get going, I want to show you how to change the blade because a lot of people don't realize how to do it. You definitely don't want to take the blade in your hand and pull it. Now this is a safety blade. You're not going to cut yourself. The little teeth in there protects you from cutting yourself. However, there's still a razor blade in there, so you could cut yourself. So don't go to town trying to prove me wrong. But how this works, so you do have your little razor in there. Usually your set comes with something like this. It's a little box that has a slit in the top. And I've seen people try to take these razors out with their hand and then deposit them in the box. That's not what this is designed for. What you want to do is you put your razor into the slit and then you pull it off. Now I don't have a razor on there. It's in this box, safety box. So when this gets full, you can toss this and get yourself a new safety box. Now, okay, Denise, how do I get on a new blade on there? Right now it's empty. Forgive me, this has been tossed around in my bag, but this is what your razors come in. You can buy this at any beauty supply. And when you take it out of the box, got blades in there. You definitely don't want to take them out with your fingers and put them in your razor blade. What you want to do, you take your razor blade and you line it up with one of those and you push. See how that is? It grabbed it. Then I would use a tabletop, not my hand, but for the sake of this video, and push it all the way down. And then you got yourself a new blade, fresh. What I would recommend is you change your blade with every haircut. I know you'll go through a lot of blades, but the last thing you want is to cut somebody's hair with a dull razor blade. First of all, you get frizzy hair. It hurts. I don't know if you've ever had it done to you before, but cutting hair, you'll hear it. It goes, it's terrible. You don't want to do that to somebody, and you'll be destroying their hair because all you're going to be doing is shattering their cuticle on the outside of their hair. No fun, and it doesn't look good. So every haircut, and sometimes if you're going to do a full haircut with one of these, you might, especially if they have coarse, thick hair, you might have to change your blade 2 or 3 times during the same one haircut. So fabulous, fabulous tool. However, you got to know how to use it, right? Wouldn't recommend a razor, say, on curly hair. The thing with a razor versus shears, a lot of people ask me this too, is, okay, pretend like this is a piece of hair. If you're using shears, you're going to go in and you're going to cut the tip of the hair, and it's going to be a solid line. When you're using a razor, you're going in at an angle, and so that hair will be then cut at an angle on each of the hairs, so you'll get a softer flow to the hair. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. So what I want to show you today is how to thin out hair with your feather razor, okay? So you can hold this just like a pencil if you want to. You can hold it with pointing. You can even put, like when you're cutting, you could put your finger in there and cut with it. So there's no right or wrong with this, okay? So what I want to show you though, let me get her out just a little bit. I've kind of parted her hair, got most of the bulk out because most of the time the bulk lives right back here at the back of the head anyway. There'll be some times that you're going to be thinning on top, but it just depends on the guest, okay? But most of the time it's gonna live in this zone. So I kind of wanted to show you that. So again, if you watched our video on how to use thinning shears, we talked about going from mid shaft down, or taking your hair and seeing it. So say you have somebody, you just cut their hair and it just was weighing heavy. And maybe you don't have a pair of thinning shears, or you don't want to use them. Pick up your feather. What I do is I love to go in there, and maybe I'll do it at an angle so I can show you. I wouldn't do this on an angle, but typically, I want you guys to see. So you can see when the hair is dry, you want to use this on dry hair. You want to do this when the hair is dry. You can see where it's laying heavy. And I don't know if you could see that, but see how it's really thin there? It's got some weight right there and weight right there. So what I want to do is take this, and hopefully you can see this, line it up parallel with the hair. I'm not going in at an angle like this. I'm going with the direction of the hair, and I'm sliding through, sliding through, sliding through. Now what this looks like, see, you can already tell it's taking some of that bulk up. What this looks like when you're doing it, I usually do it, hold out the hair, and you're going to be going quickly. This girl doesn't need it because we just used her in our last video for thinning her hair with the thinning shears. So she's really thin in that spot, so maybe I'll move over. Okay, what this looks like, again, you're gonna make sure you're not going up here. You want the mid shaft down, and you're gonna be going really fast. And I would suggest practicing this on a doll head first. Don't go to your best friend or your mom, because you will do this. You will chunk it out. See that? I just made a hole. See that? There's a big hole right there. You don't want to do that, okay? And it's easy to do, especially with a fresh blade that I just told you to change a fresh blade. So what you want to do is very lightly, and even if you have to do a couple of passes, make sure that your blade is lined up with the hair. I hope you could see that. And you're just taking out little bits by little bits. I'd rather you take out little bits by little bits than to take a big chunk out of somebody's hair. Please don't do that. Practice on a doll head. Get your little baby girl out. I know you probably have like 3 or 4 dolls that have been colored and balayaged and all that. So just go through and practice. Work on your speed, because you know speed is everything. But work on not taking too much out. Work on looking to see where that thickness is and taking just the thickness out. Anyway, I hope this helps. I love my feather blade. I use it a lot. Like I said, I use this a lot more than my thinning shears. I hardly ever reach for my thinning shears, every once in a blue moon. But I hope this helps you with how to thin hair with a feather razor. Until next time, keep practicing.